The past 2 days has been a strong sell-off for Bitcoin, right? So the question now remains, should you be buying the pullback or should you be planning to sell more or short the market? I am Machiavelli trader. By the end of this video, I will do a clear analysis to tell you if you should be buying this current zone or you should be shorting or planning to short the market. If you've not subscribed, do subscribe to encourage me make more analysis like this, and as well you're going to get notification whenever I drop fresh videos because I do altcoin daily recommendations as well as Bitcoin chart analysis. Now let's dive straight into this. Now, if you look at this chart here, it is very clear. I've tried to map out the buy and sell zone, right? So if I go to the daily chart, let's first analyze this chart without any write-up, without any extra, just a clean chart, right? So if I look at the price action, I see a clear gap being filled, right? So you see this gap that is created. You can see here price was moving with the 20 exponential moving average, right? But at this point there was a gap. There's this gap. You can see this gap between the 20 exponential moving average. Oh, I said I was going to turn that off. So you can see this gap between the 20 exponential moving average and the price, right? This gap is instantly filled, right? When this gap was filled, you can see the buy pressure happening instantly when the 20 exponential moving average was touched again, right? Telling you there are buyers on the sideways waiting to buy once price touches the exponential moving average. This is mostly the simple moving average and exponential moving average traders, and as well as price action traders. Another thing you must know is that in this zone, this was the previous support, right? The previous accumulation zone, the previous pause. And remember one thing about support and resistance is that when a resistance is crossed, it becomes a support, and when a support is crossed, it becomes a resistance. So in our situation, there was a resistance here which was crossed over and then turning into a support. If I go to my chart, you see it here. So this is the support, right? So here it played out as a clear resistance zone in this point right here. It played as a clear resistance. But when price broke through it here, you see that it has come back, and now this resistance is serving as our strong support. This is our new support. Our resistance has turned into a new support. Now, what does that have to do with the whole price of buying or selling the current zone? Now, let me dive deeper into this, right? So, going deeper into this, I'm going to come right here and explain something called the channel, right? So we see that the trend has been bullish on the upside. Why a channel is defined by at least two touches in each trend line, the upper trend line or the lower trend line. Each must have a minimum of two touches, right? And in our case, the upper trend line has successfully given us two successful touches, this point and this point, giving us a clear uptrend, right? That's our resistance of the channel. Now, the lower aspect of the channel, which happens to also be going to be playing out as our support, has given us three clear touches, right? Which is right here, here, and this recent touch, right? Which tells you that price has successfully touched the support. And our support here is around the 32K to 32,500. That is where the support is clearly located at. And price had successfully hit that support, and you can see the buy pressure like I showed you on the daily, the reaction of that support, right? This is the reaction you're seeing. The strong wick is showing you strong demand, right? So now what we're going to look is we're going to try to have a closer view of what is happening. Before I go into that closer view, I want to explain something that played out on the top when we hit this top, right? We see something called the inside bar, right? We have the inside bar. So we have the inside bar right here, right? An inside bar is defined by a bar that completely is engulfed by either the previous bar or the next bar. So we're going to start by the previous, since it's uptrend, right? We're looking for inside bar. We should be looking that the inside bar is completely engulfed by the previous bar. That is what we are looking at for. So what we are seeing here is that this is our inside bar. This particular bar here is completely engulfed by this bar here, right? That's what we see, right? So you can see if I draw a line, you can see that it completely covered both the open and the close. Everything was completely covered by the previous bar, telling you that we have an inside bar and a mother bar. So this particular one which covers it becomes our mother bar, and this particular one that was covered becomes our inside bar. Now, how is this inside bar traded? You are waiting to see that it breaks either the mother bar or the inside bar, right? For a conservative trader who wants to be more reserved, right? Want to see price breaking below the inside bar, right? This the mother bar. But if you want a sniper entry, you want to short when price broke the inside bar. So once price broke this inside bar to the downside, it is a clear sign that we're going on the downway, right? Now the funny thing is that below there are countless supports, right? What we're seeing is countless support on the low, right? We're seeing a support right here, and just below it is the 20 exponential moving average and the trend line support, telling you that price is not likely going to go far before it is instantly bought back. And that's exactly what we're seeing here with these long wicks. These wicks we are seeing here is telling you there's still buy pressure happening, and we're not seeing the up wicks so much on this particular trade. Why? Because there's a buy pressure, right? That's what we're seeing. This is the daily chart. Now let's go to the 4 hours chart to analyze this price action, just like we've done for the daily chart, and see a reason why we could be getting a reversal at the current zone on the 1 hour chart, because the 1 hour chart is showing us clear reversal is already trying to take place, right? So we look here, we see, let's analyze the chart one after the other, the bars. So looking at this bar, what I'm seeing is a clear rejection on support, right? So this is our trend line, mind you. This is our trend line, right? So we are seeing this is the support that I told you, the resistance that we broke through here, that becomes a support here, right? So you see that support was slashed, it was murdered, it was completely destroyed. But then the bulls said, no, we're not going to let you have this your way, sellers. So that's why we're coming in and we're forming a pause. And we had this pause. You can see another inside bar, right? This is now a bullish inside bar. The last one we saw was a bearish inside bar. So right now we're seeing a bullish inside bar happening just on support, right? So you see the mother bar, right? This is our mother bar now. This red one is our mother bar, and the second one is this is our mother bar, and the second one is our outside bar, our inside bar. So you see that the previous bar was completely engulfing the next bar, right? Giving us a mother bar and an inside bar, like I said. But the good thing is that we had a follow through. The bulls actually followed through this buy pressure on support, right? By this next bar, right? Because the next bar broke the mother bar, broke the inside bar, completely destroying it, telling you that price is now on the upside, right? So what we're likely going to see is going to be a retest of this low to prove that there's enough buyers. So we're going to likely see a retest giving us a higher low, right? Because we need a higher low at this point for price to keep moving. Yes, we are on support, but we don't want to see price coming down to break this support, right? We don't want to see that. So we want a higher low, and that is likely going to happen. So price is likely going to move up and get to 33,800 before probably coming back to give us a higher low around the 34K zone. That's what we're going to see. The higher low is going to be around the 34K range, right? That's why we're going to see the higher low between 34K range and 35 35K range. That's where we are going to see this higher low, which is also going to be meaning that if you miss the entry on this point, you are likely going to get another entry on the higher low if you really take the time to observe. Because right now, from this point, I don't guarantee much downward pressures taking place anymore. Instead, we're going to start seeing upward pressure. Now, if I look at the 4 hours chart, mind you, I just finished looking at the 1 hour chart, you're going to see another rejection trying to build up at the 4 hours chart that is likely going to close in the next 1 hour or so. You see that price is on the support of the 55 exponential moving average. price is still lingering on that support, and price is clearly sitting on our support right here, right? This is our support, which happens to be, this is the touch on this, and again here, this is now our support, telling you that this is our buy zone. So start adding to Bitcoin instead of selling, because we could see a measured move to the upside. Why do I say a measured move, right? So if I go to the daily chart, you're going to understand what I'm saying, right? So what you're going to see is likely from here, right? The last time we had this pullback was this spot, this touch on the lower trend line was here. So if I'm to get the measured move that happened here, you see it's the same measured move that took place around this zone, right? From here to here, right? You see the measured move and analyze from this, let me zoom in so that you see what I'm talking about. I will have to take off, probably close every, it's not gonna work because you won't see the arrow. So you see this measured move here, this is our support here. Before the pump started, it got to this point, there was a resistance. So if I take this and I place it again here on this support, when the resistance hit it and it went back to seek support on the lower trend line of the channel, to the upper point where it touched the channel, we're still having a measured move, right? If I take the same arrow up, you're going to see that we're going to likely have another measured move to 45,000 all the way to 45,500, if not 46K. I won't be surprised if it crosses above it, depending on the demand pressure that the coin is rightly having right now, that Bitcoin is having. The demand pressure, it might lead to breaking of this channel. Now, mind you, a channel can be broken at any time, right? Depending on the pressure that hits that channel. Now, what I want to see before a channel breakout, like in this situation, is I want to see countless hits on this channel where price then breaks below it. But so far, so good. What I'm seeing is looking really good, right? What I'm seeing is looking very, very interesting, because just like what we saw here, you see the buy pressure and the wick that we saw here, you see the long wick that happened below the low of this bar. You can see the same thing is playing out when prices started touching the lower trend line. The last bar had a long wick, the previous bar had a long wick, and again another bar had a long wick. So you can see that buy pressure taking place, telling you that price has met good support, right? The 32,500 is a strong support that you should start buying right now. With that being said, that is my analysis on Bitcoin. Buy every pullback is what I'm trying to say in this video in a short, simple English. Buy every pullback from this 32K zone. We're going to likely see 45K from here. Thank you for watching. If you've not subscribed, do subscribe. If you find this information quite informative, do like and subscribe. Thank you.